Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about how technology is stealing your jobs. Yes, it is. Surprisingly, it really is. Now, over the past few years, we have seen that we have seen the evolution of social media. We've seen the evolution of smartphones, computers, starting way back in the 90s. The 90s, we imagine how different, if we go back to how different technology was in the 90s and the progress that it has now made. It is completely insane that we have now flat screen laptops, we have computers, we have Wi-Fi. So I'm going to just talk to you guys about how technology is stealing your jobs. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are now aware of why a lot of people are enrolling in computer science programs, why a lot of people choose to do coding courses, why a lot of people are going into the IT industry. A lot of people are studying this nowadays. And do you know why they're doing this? Because of how rapidly the industry has evolved, and it makes tons of billions of dollars every single year. So obviously people want to get into that field, right? So now let's first start off with pilots. Now, pilots and aviation has been around for quite some time, especially back in the 80s, in the 70s. It was one of a high-ranking jobs. It was one of the high-ranking jobs, and now, especially after the pandemic, pilots, thousands of pilots, millions of pilots have lost their jobs. Not only that, but there are a lot of companies all across the world that are developing software. They are developing software that is going to run pilots on autopilot, basically. But I'm not. This is not to say that pilots are going to lose their jobs. There's no jobs in aviation. I strongly suggest that you go with your passion. But I'm not going to lie. Pilots are not as in high demand as they used to be, because they also have a lot of equipment and software and machines that they have now brought in that now runs the plane on autopilot. Obviously the pilots are there to kind of, you still need a human to kind of evaluate everything and make sure that everything is going smoothly, but it is not as in high demand. I really don't want to discourage anybody, but this is what I have noticed. Now, a lot of people have also talked about accounting. They've talked about how accounting is soon going to be no jobs in accounting, but I think accountants are always going to be needed, because sometimes sometimes computers and software can't pick up on certain errors and certain things that humans can. But I'm not going to lie, technology has been rapidly evolving that it actually might be possible. But I strongly believe that accountants are still very important, and I strongly recommend that you go on and become one, right? So now we're going to talk. We've spoken about how aviation, we've spoken about accounting, and there are a numerous amount of jobs that are being lost, that people are losing because they now have computers. There are certain departments in companies that are just completely run by computers. This is a huge industry, and I just want you guys to realize how huge it is. I definitely think that some people choose to stay away from the internet. They're not too big of a fan of it, just because they like being old school, or they don't want to be a part of urbanization. But it's a part of life. In 10 years, 50 years from now, everything is going to be different, and computers that we are using right now may not even be the same, right? So it is very important to keep